Welcome to today's Think Love panel, where when you think love, you make the world a better place. Today we're discussing social justice initiatives, and joining me, we have Farley Flex. He's a well-known media personality and an amazing mover and shaker in the world of media, but also in the world of social justice initiatives. We have Christina Laurice. She's a host at Yes TV, and she's super connected in her church, welcoming people, and part of a lot of initiatives that include others that maybe some people wouldn't be noticing. And we have Jay Martin, a celebrated comedian who's opened for many acts, including Jamie Foxx and among others, at least, yes. Lots of artists. And he's going to be talking to us about some of the initiatives he does for homelessness in Toronto and the GTA. So thank you guys for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm really happy you're here. So Christina, you're part of a new church called Haven. It's a new church plant in Toronto.
Yeah, that's correct.
And there's a lot of young people that come to your church. And you're part of an initiative that helps to identify people who might be on the margins, people who aren't being noticed.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so with the church plant in Toronto, you're in a city with millions of people walking around doing their own thing. So it's often very easy to go unnoticed. Even if you're a businessman, anything from a businessman down to someone who works and serves at a restaurant, it's very hard to go unnoticed in a community like Toronto because there's so many people. So what Haven is trying to do is to reach out to those people that are alone in the city and to ensure that people feel seen, known, and loved. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And what do you do when you come up alongside someone so that they don't just feel like a project, but they feel like you're connecting with them? If you're noticing that maybe they're lonely, they're not being included, they're having a hard time advocating for themselves, how do you do that organically? Because I'd like to know how to do that a little better.
Well, a lot of the time, churches do this thing where people come on Sundays and then they kind of just leave throughout the week and then come back on the next Sunday. So what I think is important is connecting with those people throughout the week. It's important when you're meeting somebody on a Sunday to say, hey, let's grab a coffee sometime. Let's go out. Let's get to know each other on a personal level, rather than just saying, hey, hope you have a nice day, and then seeing them off. You know, it's important to really see someone, to hear them, and to allow their life to connect with yours.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good, really good. And Farley, you're doing some incredible initiatives with at-risk youth. You've won some amazing awards like the Queen's Jubilee Award for advocating for children and youth, and I'm just wondering if you can share with us a little bit about what you've been doing so we can have some ideas about what we could be doing.
Well, first off, you know, the awards and the accolades, it's more about the sense of reward you feel inside, number one. But for me, you know, what I look at, I observe the world and I look for inequities. When I see that you live in Toronto, as an example, or Canada for that matter, is one of the most privileged societies in the world, one of the most privileged countries. But you don't have to drive far from any of the main municipalities to find third world conditions, people who are marginalized by virtue of whether it be anti-black racism, anti-indigenous racism, and all aspects of discrimination. So what I've done effectively is to really marry the entertainment world and my knowledge of how to engage with work that we do with my company, Urban Red Solutions. My business partner, Rod, and I, who's also from the entertainment industry, we bring pop culture sensibility into engaging young people who are on the fringe, marginalized, as I said, whether it be barriers to education, barriers to, or you know, disproportionately interacting with the criminal justice system in ratios that don't reflect the actual population. Right, so we know that things like anti-black racism and discrimination and so on and so forth are essential to address, right, and really disrupt is the term we use.
Oh, that's an amazing work. And it's so important for us to take note of it and to really be aware of those who are on the margins. Like social ethics talk about people who are on the margins, and those are people who actually just are unseen and don't have traditional power in society.
Absolutely.
So that powerless feeling, and we need to be able to identify when we are having our power and we're in those moments of privilege, who is marginalized, whose voice is not being heard, and then we need to give way to those voices, which your work is doing.
Yeah, you know, it's important. You hit on something that I should have said initially. You know, one of the current projects we're working on is called Say It Loud. And we're talking about the people who don't have voices. When we talk about voices, we talk about voices that are heard by the policymakers, you know, the politicians, et cetera, et cetera. So what Say It Loud is meant to do nationally is to promote Black pride and positive cultural identity, but to all Canadians. So the young people, the age category is 14 to 29, and they're being offered a platform to represent things like technology, entrepreneurship, social justice, and well, let's call it social impact and innovation. And then the 3 arts that we're focusing on, art categories are culinary, performance, and visual. So they will be able to represent Black pride and positive cultural identity to all Canadians, because it's not just about the group themselves, it's about being part of the national fabric of the country, because all cultures contribute to this great country. We know that.
Yes, yes, amen. I love that. And now, Jay, can you tell us some more about the initiatives you're doing? I know you're doing an amazing outreach to people that are struggling with homelessness.
Yes.
Yeah.
My team together, Our Flavor is a company that manages me as well. We put together this thing called Dare to Care. And it's where we go out and we take care of the city. We get food, we get clothing for children, everyone. And we go out right downtown and we look for them and they all come. We get food, clothes, essentials for women, and it feels good when you're out there. Over 5,000 people in the GTA are homeless. You think about that, 5,000. And the weather conditions are never easy at all. So to be able to go out there, provide them with coats, and as Farley said, we can use our popularity through the world of music, arts, to let people know and lend a hand. And our voice stretches a lot further than you think. So we're able to help more people. I'm always feel instant gratification when we get that.
Your homelessness initiative is so inspiring, Jay, and I know that you have a personal story about why homelessness matters to you.
Well, it matters to me because I felt it. It was like unseen homelessness. It wasn't like what everyone perceived at being outside for many days, but I had nowhere to live. I had to crash at different people's houses to be able to live that way. When you're in that feeling, you want to do something for other people who get into that feeling. You want to be able to help them. It's never nothing to be proud of when you're in that state, but you don't have to hang your head down in shame.
No.
So this is a way to help them know that I've been there. That's why I'm here to help you.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's important to give a face to people that struggle with homelessness, to understand that we're coming from different places in life and we can end up in different places.
You never know.
You never know. So it's really important to be able to connect with people and be that encouragement, and also just pour resources into helping people overcome the struggle with homelessness. I'm so excited that you guys were here today. You guys are like God's hands in the world, and I'm really grateful, and it's an inspiration to all of our viewers at home. So just encouraging everyone who's watching to think love today, because when you think love, the world changes.